Richard in Nevada, we are past time. I apologize. I know you've been waiting a really long time. How can we help?
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I do want to talk about what is logically possible versus an illogical concept.
Okay, but
for example,
logical possibility and illogical concept is not a proper dichotomy. So I don't understand the verses there. So go ahead and tell us what you're pondering. But I think we have a terminology issue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for example, fire cannot logically exist if one of three elements is missing, such as heat, fuel, or oxygen.
No, sir, that's not Richard. That has nothing to do with logic. The fact that the fire triangle exists.
It's extreme logic. No, you cannot.
No, Richard, are you going to let me try and help you here or not?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is about the physical properties of fire. It's not about logical possibility. Okay? So all you're saying, when you say fire can't logically happen if one of the elements of that's not a logical thing. That is a science thing. It just happens that you can make a logical argument about it.
Reasoning, sir. Logic is sound reasoning.
Now, I don't know here, Richard, because I said we had a terminology issue. Logical possibility has a fairly specific meaning within philosophy and logic. So, okay, ask your question again using whatever terminology you want, and I'll try and get us there.
Okay, let me give you another illustration. For example, light. The speed of light cannot travel a light year in 6 months. That would be an illogic.
So can I stop you here? Because the sentence that you just uttered was the speed of light cannot travel a light year in 6 months. However, the speed of light doesn't travel. It's light that's traveling, and it travels at a particular speed, and that speed is controlled by the medium through which it's traveling. So the speed of light in a vacuum is the speed at which light travels through a vacuum. You are correct that light could not travel in a vacuum the distance that it would normally cover in a year in 6 months. That is correct.
What is the point you're trying to make, Richard? What's the point you're trying to make about logic?
Okay, well, there's a logical concept and there's an illogical concept. And Matt said something about 2 weeks ago of what I really want to comment on. He said, I'm paraphrasing, but Matt said if evolution were somehow proven false, that would somehow no way prove the existence of God, and that's 100% illogical.
No. That's 100% correct. That is 100% correct, Richard, because if we proved that evolution, the scientific model, evolution by means of natural selection, if we proved that it were wrong, that would not prove that a God exists.
We can't logically exist here. That's an illogical concept.
I'm sorry, Richard, but I'm trying to explain this to you, Richard. And I know you called in because you heard me say something and you want to tell me that it's illogical. But the fact is, my statement is absolutely correct and undeniably so. If you disprove evolution, that does not prove that a God exists.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
How so?
Because
how so, Richard?
Much in the same way that your original statement about logical possibility versus illogical concept is not a true dichotomy, evolution and God is not a true dichotomy. It is a false dilemma. I'm sorry that you don't understand the concept, but it's like saying, let's imagine for a second, maybe this will make sense, Richard. If we proved that the germ theory of disease were wrong, does that mean that diseases are caused by demons?
No, of course not.
Thank you. You just agreed with me because proving evolution wrong, proving the germ theory of disease wrong, neither of those means that you've proved something else is true. It doesn't mean that it proves that demons are responsible for disease, and it doesn't prove that God exists. You have actually just trapped yourself by agreeing with a logically valid in structure argument. You have no way out now.
I'm supposed to be a very logical person, and that's the one reason why I brought up the other 2 points. Is the one thing I'm like you in the sense, Matt, is I cannot stand stupidity. It drives me crazy.
So no, Richard, you're nothing like Richard. Richard, Richard, I'm going to mute you because I'm going to say this. You're nothing like me. You say that you can't stand stupidity. What I can't stand is willful ignorance. Stupidity can be fixed. That's what education is. I spent the bulk of my life sitting here educating people. I just educated you on what a valid and sound argument is by showing you that in the abstract, you agree with the structure that you denied in a different place. Now, if you want to define stupidity as willful ignorance, then yes, you and I are both have.
Hey, Matt, is he trying to say that if we prove evolution is not true, then by default the creation story is true?
Point.
Is that what he's?
Oh my gosh, he was talking the whole time he was on mute. I tell you what, Richard, we'll just agree that neither of us can stand stupid, and we'll put me in that category, and you won't have to listen to me anymore. So thanks.
Okay.
Hey, he said okay.
Well, I guess I'm assuming that he was saying that if evolution is proven false, then by default the creation story is true. Is that what he's trying to say?
Yes, he's saying there are only two options: either God made everything or evolution made everything. And
oh my God!
Problem is,
I just can't believe that is a thing he thinks is valid.
yes,
I mean, and he's using that as, I mean, that's like saying if I found out the man that had been living in our home as my father all these years was not my biological father, then the postman must be. Or
yeah.
What the hell?
If we prove the butler didn't do it, then clearly it was the maid.
Exactly.
Yeah. He doesn't understand what a true dichotomy is.
I'm glad you cut him off.
Yeah. And so it's either evolution or not evolution. And out here with all the things that are not evolution, one of the potentials is God, but also it's possible for evolution to be true and for some God to exist that used or worked through evolution as well. So he's wrong. Like there's this really great concept that everyone should know about, and it's called fractal wrongness. And that means your idea is wrong at every conceivable resolution. Like zooming in on a Mandelbrot set, every time you look at what he says, he's wrong.